If all you've been attracting lately are people who leave you feeling disappointed and dissatisfied, you might be subconsciously avoiding people who are actually on your level. When you're someone who holds growth as one of your main values, you can level up in a matter of months. And even though this gives you a better quality of life, it can also have you outgrowing your surroundings, including people. Not just people around you already, but the people that you're interested in getting to know. Of course, there are people around us who have the potential to be lifelong friends, where they grow alongside us and even help us be better people. But a lot of the people around us don't carry those qualities. It's natural to surround ourselves with people who are kind of similar to us, but are they similar to who we actually show up as in the world or our own perception of us? If you have grown into a confident, secure, powerful person, but you attract people who are more like a past you, I feel like that says something about the way that you see yourself. Even if you've done all this work to become who you are today, are you still seeing yourself as the insecure, undisciplined high schooler you were back in the day who kept themselves super small? Do you see people walking around with the same healthy traits that you've developed for yourself as too good for you? Do you see them as unapproachable or intimidating, or assume that they wouldn't want to be your friend? When you're setting standards for the people who come into your life, how similar are those standards to those in which you hold yourself to? Obviously, we all have different strengths and weaknesses, but in general, if you look at the people around you or the people that you're interested in getting to know and how they live their life and how they have set up their own mindset, would you feel ashamed if you were in their shoes? Would you feel ashamed if you treated people the same way that they treat people? Do you feel comfortable talking about self-growth around them? Do they understand you when you bring those things up? Or do you downplay yourself around them and pretend that you're not doing all these things and that you're not holding yourself to all these standards, and you feel like you have to kind of just blend in with the way that they see the world? Obviously, there's no shame in not constantly growing all the time and holding yourself to ridiculously high standards, but when you're looking at different people that you could have come into your life, are you choosing the people who actually have growth as a value of theirs, or people who kind of just cruise through life and don't really understand why you would want to grow? Avoiding people who aren't growing can feel really strange at first, and it kind of feels like you're putting yourself above them in some way, but you don't have to view it that way. You don't have to view yourself as better than them. You can kind of just say, like, they're not really your vibe. There are so many rates of growth that somebody can have, and each rate of growth just makes sense for different types of people, and we don't need to put each person into a position on a leaderboard. We can just all agree that whatever rate that we've chosen for ourselves is good for ourselves at the time, and it's okay to gravitate towards people who have that same rate of growth. And if you notice that you're spending time around someone who has a much lower rate of growth than you, and they're kind of making you feel weird for like striving for the rate that you want, it's okay to distance yourself from that person. Like, if they tell you you're trying too hard and they're trying to get you to slow down, that's not someone you want to be around. So instead of continually settling for people who literally make you feel weird for trying and for having goals and growing as a person, I challenge you to actually go up to those people who intimidate you. The people who literally have the traits that you've grown into and that you're proud of. Those people are probably actually for you because they share those traits and they will encourage you to grow, and you'll encourage them to grow, and you'll connect based on that value of growth. You need to start seeing yourself more clearly in that you actually have grown into the person that you are today, and that you do treat people as well as you do, and that you do look put together every day as you do, and that you do achieve the things that you achieve. You shouldn't be seeing yourself as this insecure small person that you used to be. You need to lift yourself up to where you actually are. And then when you're looking around at people and seeing who you want to connect with, actually look at the level you're at and look at people who are at the same place. When you're talking to new people, make it apparent that you have goals as high up as you do. Make it apparent that you strive for what you strive for. Don't shrink yourself into this person who's just going with the flow and doing what everyone else is doing when in secret you're actually not. You're not going to attract people who are up to the same things as you if you humble yourself and act like you're not up to those things. And you don't even have to tell them where you intend to go, because there are studies saying that if you go around yapping about your goals, it gives you the same dopamine rush as actually achieving them. So if you read those studies, you don't have to go around saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to that. Tell people what you're up to right now. Say, oh yeah, I go to the gym consistently. Oh yeah, I do this consistently. And if somebody tries to like bring you down when you admit that you're doing one of these things, that's a massive red flag. Like if I say, oh yeah, I go to the gym 5 times a week, and someone says like, wow, really? Like you go that often? Like what are you trying to be? I'm not going to be around that person very much longer. For example, I remember one time I was with a couple of friends and I mentioned that I was interested in podcasting. And one of them was like, oh, like, don't become one of those. Like, oh, like, don't become one of those people who just, like, thinks that they can have a podcast because they're so funny. Guess how much I'm around them now? My friends who are actually my friends are so supportive of any interest that I have. And they would never, ever say anything like that. Surround yourself with people who actually make you feel confident in what you're doing. Like, if they question you and think that you're weird for something, that just means they're too scared to do it themselves. If you're a hardworking person, you should not feel afraid of befriending hardworking people. If you're a mature person, you should not feel afraid of befriending mature people. If you're emotionally intelligent, you should not feel afraid of befriending emotionally intelligent people. If you're surrounded by people who shame you for working hard, and who are not emotionally intelligent, and who are not mature, you should not feel afraid of distancing yourself from them. You don't even have to cut them off. Just like add some distance. You know, you're busy. You don't always gotta be around them. And don't feel ashamed of that. So basically, I think that the more you stop shrinking yourself, the more that you're open about what you're actually working on, and the more you distance yourself from people who shame you for working hard and doing what you want to do with your life, the more you're going to attract people who actually understand you for what you're doing. But a key to this is not being afraid to let people in who are actually up to the same things that you're up to. They are not too good for you. Look up imposter syndrome and look up how to get rid of it, because you deserve to be in circles that nurture your goals and push you to be the person you actually want to be. So yeah, be the type of person who lifts their friends up and surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up, because otherwise you're just going to shrink yourself and not hit your potential just because people around you think that it'd be weird for you to. I think that's all I have to say for now. But yeah, thank you for reaching the end, and if you want more of me ranting about random things I think about, then you can hit a button that's down there. And yes, my name is Jen. Thank you. Farewell.